Hello, I'm Mario, and today I need to get into Utah, out by Provo. Actually, so that's close to Salt Lake City, but there's a town called Heber City, Utah, and I think that's how it's said. At any rate, I need to get there today. That's been my plan. I finally left Santa Fe. I was able to get some work done to my truck. I got some new tires ordered, but so right now where I'm at, I'm in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. I'm about 8,200 feet, and I've been keeping an eye on the weather, and it's not going to be perfect weather heading up, so it's just something I've definitely taken into consideration. So it's 8:30 in the morning right now, and just finally the ice on the side of my truck is starting to melt. I'm battling the sun here, but even like right here, I can still feel it's kind of a little bit icy. So there was some precipitation last night, and so I'm a little bit worried about black ice, really. If it was just snowing or something like that, it would be a little bit different. So at any rate, I'm not going to be driving like a local, heading up and over the different passes. So at any rate, I'm going to take you guys along for that ride. And when I get to Heber City, I'm going to do more work to the truck. I mentioned over in Santa Fe, had to replace the tires. So here I have my new Toyo tires here. So these are the MT. So they're the open country MTs. So this is the same thing that I had on there before. So I got those tires replaced. I like them. It's what I have for my spare. So I have 5 tires that are just the same. So I got the front end aligned and got those tires replaced. But Heber City, I'm getting something. I'm gonna get something installed right in this area in here on my truck. And yeah, they contacted me when I arrived in Santa Fe and they said it's ready. So I started making plans, and yeah, this new storm front came in. But at any rate, I'm just about ready to go. I don't want to leave too late because there's going to be some wind picking up on one pass in particular, and it's really pretty scenery. So hopefully I can get some of that scenery. But yeah, right now I need to get in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a little breakfast. So what I'm fixing up now is simply cereal, but sometimes I find some of this fresh fruit, and so I'd like to add that in there. But yes, it's not always ripe. So I've already tested this one. The kiwi was good, but the strawberries weren't necessarily perfect. That one looks pretty good. I think I'll do without that one. All right, well, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go. It was just one night, so I just had my power cord connected, and that was it. So got everything stowed away. I did have to level out a little bit, so I grabbed a couple blocks just for the hitch jack. And so at any rate, yeah, on this side on the passenger side was the windy side, and it only dropped down to 32 degrees as best as I could tell on that side of the rig. So right now on my dashboard, it's indicating 39 degrees. And I think, I can hear cars on the roadway, so they've been warming things up. So it's 9:45 right now. Now at 11 o'clock, it's gonna get windy up at a pass in Utah. So now I can't remember the name, but at any rate, this is where it's really nice scenery and everything. So I'm a little bit concerned about that one spot, but I think the roads are going to be rather clear. So I might be making a big to-do about it, but the reason why I'm mentioning it is that these are the things that are on my mind as I'm traveling. The situation that I'm driving towards right now,
unpaved road, then take the first right.
Is not a situation that I would plan for, so I was kind of trying to plan best to avoid issues. Yesterday was super windy, not super windy, but yeah, I was actually driving through 30-mile-per-hour winds, and when I left Santa Fe, I predicted that I would see those winds for a very short distance. So
Turn left on Colorado 184.
so it's all part of calculated risk, perhaps. But yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out. But I'm ready. I'm gonna hit the road. I don't think there's any ice between. I'm really close to Utah, so I left Durango, and yeah, I think we're in good shape. I got my tire pressures are looking good. A little bit lower because of the cold weather, but yeah, I got tire pressure everywhere. Should be good.
In 4 miles, turn right on US 491.
So I'm leaving Dolores right now. I got the window down because I'm trying to film out the passenger side. I just jumped on the highway here. But yeah, some fantastic views. I'm heading north on US 491, or I'm northbound on US 491. I'm actually heading a little northwest, and so I'm in Colorado, and I'm going to cut over onto the Utah state line, and then I'm going to start shooting straight north. Right down in this area, it didn't really get that cold last night. It probably stayed above freezing. I was checking all the weather, so I'm not really concerned about this area here. It's an area up closer to Provo, Utah that I'm a little bit concerned about. Like I said, there's going to be some wind coming in at about 11 a.m. and that's about an hour from now. So hopefully I'm going to get there on the tail end of it, but I'm a little worried about black ice, to be honest. But at any rate, I'm going to be in Utah in a little bit, and then I'm going to cut up and over and north of Interstate 70 and start heading out towards Provo, Utah, Salt Lake City type area. In fact, I just caught a glimpse of the mountains that I'm going to be heading towards. They're way off in the distance. There's no way the camera's going to be able to pick them up, but I can see cloud cover just hovering over the top of it. Where I left, that was Dolores, Colorado, and where I left, that was 8,200 feet elevation, and I'm going to be doing something similar over here. I can't remember what the pass is, but the peaks are right at about 7,700 feet, so I might be looking at 5,600 feet elevation in the pass. And but at any rate, hopefully there's some scenery over there I can share with you. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'm not gonna actually be picking up the part that I've been working so diligently to achieve, to get that part for the Chevy Colorado. Not in this video. I don't even know. So I'm heading, my destination today is an RV park in Heber, Utah, and I don't have anywhere or anybody to help me install this part. So I still have to figure out where and how and all that stuff. I made it into Utah, and here is my first glimpse of a quintessential Utah with the red rocks and snow-capped mountains in the background. This is fantastic looking. But I just got into Utah. I mean, I just left Monticello. Monticello's right behind me. So these mountains right here that I have in front of me, I'm gonna kind of skirt to the left of them, to the west side of them, but still kind of head up into them. There's a pass there on, I believe it's State Route 6, Utah 6. And at any rate, that's going to be north out of Moab. So it's 11 o'clock right now. Hopefully I get there at the tail end of the wind and it doesn't get too like freezing cold. I'm right in the middle of downtown Moab, Utah. And I'll tell you what, this looks nothing like what I remember some over 20 years ago was the last time I was in Moab. Maybe a couple of these buildings here, but man, it is crowded. It's different. So still not to Interstate 70 yet. Got another 30 miles to go. About 11:45 right now. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any time zone changes. I should still be in mountain the whole way. But all right, yeah. We're at Moab, Utah. Well, I'm leaving town right now, and yeah, more of these red rocks. I think I'm going to be seeing a lot more of these, but we'll have to see how the scenery changes and what I can include. I made it to Price, Utah, so I'm still heading north, and these are the hills that I'm going to be climbing up and over. And I can see some snow over here off in the distance. And so it's 2 o'clock right now. I think most of the wind has died off, but doesn't seem like I have cell coverage. So I can't really check up on the weather forecast. But when I looked at it earlier, it was gonna be like a couple hours of high gusts. So considering the amount of traffic that is going this direction, I don't suspect I'm going to have too much of an issue. But yeah, I still got 100 miles before I get to Heber, and the scenery's pretty nice. And I can feel the wind a little bit. It's been a pretty steady headwind. Here's another view of the foothills. So these aren't the snow-capped mountains that I was referring to. So the next town that we might have some views of what's ahead of us is Heber. So we'll have to see if the view changes then. All right, well, I'm climbing out of Heber. So the town Heber was really small, and it's pretty close to Price. But yeah, this is US 6. I said it was Utah Highway 6, but it's a US Route 6. But also, I guess I'm running with US 191. And wow, this is pretty cool. So there's train tracks right here on the right-hand side of me, and they have this canyon just kind of carved out through here. So it's not the same red rock that you would see over in Moab. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been out here, so I think we got some climbing to do yet, and I don't feel the wind too bad. One thing about the wind when you have these turns is the wind is constantly changing directions, or actually you're changing directions, and the wind can catch you off guard when you come around a turn. So I'm keeping an eye on, there's not a lot of trees. I mean, there's some trees, but as far as like trying to keep an eye on the wind, it's hard to tell. But I've noticed that the best indication for strong winds is really, it's the shrubs and the grass and the things that are low and close to the, close to the ground versus looking up at the treetops. When you look up at the treetops, and they might be gusting around, but it's not necessarily going to be the same as it can be on the at the ground level. So yeah, at any rate, looking pretty good. And currently it's indicating 46 degrees right now. But yeah, still climbing. I don't know if I've summited, but I came up on the top of something, and I can see some hilltops that are covered with some clouds and a little bit of snow. Like as I'm coming around here, I can see remnants of the storm that had came through before. So this is pretty cool stuff. I'm so glad that it's not icy and you know, the weather isn't as bad as it as well as it was. And I guess there's going to be a little bit more weather coming in the next couple of days, but I'm going to be hunkered down over there in Salt Lake City, so I should be relatively safe. The mountains that are off to the right here, they're just packed, and it looks like I'm going to be heading pretty much in this direction, so I'm going to be skirting around that. So that's kind of nice. I'm looking at the map, so I should be I'm heading northwest right now, and it doesn't seem like I'm going to be changing direction too much for the next 46 miles when I get to the Interstate 15 over there near Provo. All right, so these clouds are carrying a little bit of snow. I can see it flying around in the air, but yeah, nothing serious as of yet. And like I said, I think we got the elevation out of the way, because these are the clouds that I was looking at when I was down in Heber. So still see some sunshine popping through. It's indicating drop down to 38 degrees. So there still could be a wind chill factor, but man, with the amount of traffic that's on this road, I don't think there's any issues of black ice or anything. Also, I noticed on some of the bridges you can see, and I can see here too, is that there was some de-icing, some road maintenance done throughout the day. So I think I timed it just right. So pretty happy about all that. Not much scenery right now except for the clouds. There's a little bit of a flurry there. You can see it's getting a little bit heavier. So yeah, these clouds are really packing it in. You can see it blowing around. There's some evidence of snow on the left of me here. It's definitely cold here. It's indicating 33 degrees. So there's still a chance of some slippery road for sure. Starting to get a little bit of snow collecting on the travel trailer. There's definitely some snow drifts though, so for sure there was some weather coming through here. And it looks like we're coming on a nice little downgrade here, 3 to 5%. So it could be an indicator that this is really the summit that I was most concerned about. So now it's just a matter of contending with the wind. So I'm a little more than 20 miles away from Provo, Utah, and the scenery has changed. I got this red dirt and I'm kind of dropping down through this canyon, and this is pretty spectacular because there's like green grass also growing with the red dirt. So that's something you wouldn't necessarily see in southern Utah, at least I don't think so. So it's interesting to see the green contrast. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. And then I got a glimpse of some mountains off in the distance, but I don't see them yet. Let's see, maybe around this turn. Yeah, look at those mountains. Wow. Wow. I hope the camera picks it up. That's spectacular. All right, well, I made it through Provo, and now all I have to do is, well, I guess I got to kind of go off to the right of this little mountain here. So on my right, there's a little mountain. It's got some snow on top, and I'm going to follow 189. So I got another 25 miles to go to get to Heber City. Man, we're almost there, but it's a pretty good sized little hill. So hopefully we don't have to climb too much in elevation. It looks like I got a little canyon I can cut between these two hills here. It's going to be interesting. This is it. I made it to Heber City. I hope I'm saying that right. So I got the airport here to my right. Main Street is coming up here in, I don't know, half a mile. The RV park that I chose, it was just the closest. So I wanted something that was convenient, and that's what I got. So I'm going to turn right on Main Street and then
turn right at the traffic light.
And so I should just be a mile away. Well, I think I see the park right straight ahead, and it's right next to the airport. Fortunately, I only booked a few nights, so I think it's Friday night right now. And yeah, I just wanted to book the weekend, make sure I had the weekend out of the way. So I'm gonna have to try to find a spot to actually install this part that I ordered and was built for me. So I still have to figure all that out, but man, what a trip. I made it. That's good news for me.
Arriving at Mountain Valley RV Heber on the right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check in and then go ahead and get parked. Okay, well, it's the next day and I managed to get parked over in here. So last night it was, well, freezing. It didn't indicate much lower than 30 degrees. I was keeping an eye on the temperature, but it was advertising to be in the mid 20s. So nobody was hooked up to water, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish disconnecting, and I'm gonna be here a couple of nights. I mentioned it was Friday night. Well, it was Saturday. So it's Sunday morning, and yeah, now I get to figure out how to install the part that I ordered, the whole reason why I ventured out to this town. So yeah, I won't be able to do it here. This is a rather fancy RV park. So yeah, I won't be doing it here. Here's a look at the park, and yeah, awesome mountains back there, snow-capped. So, all right, I made it. One more step towards achieving my goals. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the journey, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.